first off, create our header. Okay, we also need the text input box for our search. Search icon. Don't need a default text. Change the hint text to search and change this padding. Move this text over. Okay, just like that. And we need a gallery. Go ahead and connect to my SharePoint list. Do the expenses list. Okay, I'll change this layout real quick. Change that from ID to total. Okay. All right, let's create a new screen. Call this detail. Go ahead and insert that rectangle in there. Okay. Okay, now we just need a bunch of labels. Okay, then we go ahead and fill out the detail labels. We have to tell it whatever is in gallery 1 selected. This is the title column, and just the same thing. For all of these, except this is date. Total. Oops. And type. Now we have to do one other step with type, because that is a choices column. We have to tell it the value. Okay, and edit screen. Okay. So similar. I have the name, but now we need text inputs. This will be date, and for date we need a date picker. And then another label. Go ahead and call this total. And text input for that. And another label for our type. And type, we need a drop-down control. Okay. And we don't need we don't want it to have this text input default text. We want it to display whatever we just came from on the details screen. And that was whatever was selected in gallery 1. Okay. And we're going to do the same thing for all of these. Total. Now this is a little bit different. It wants to know what is the list that we're pulling from. So this is in SharePoint, this is a choices column. So we need to say this is choices. A choices column in the expenses list is type of. Okay, so now it has the whole list. Details. See, it should say type travel for this record, and it says gas. It's just defaulting to whatever was the top of that list. So now we need to tell it what the default is. So here is where we say gallery 1 selected, type of, and we do that extra step and say the value. Okay, so now it's displaying right where it says travel. And we're gonna go ahead and duplicate this screen now. I'm gonna call this screen create new. So go ahead and blank these out. RSP. Now blank that out and let's go to default. Okay. Call that new item. Okay, using the form control, all you have to do is say submit form and then say the form. And the last one was form 1. You close the parenthesis and it'll be done. It's a little more complicated now that you're not using forms. You have to use a different command called patch. So patch, and you tell it what data source you want to patch to. We're going to expenses. Have a curly brace. We want to say that there's an ID column in this SharePoint list. This ID column here. So it'll compare this ID column to, say, gallery 1 selected ID. Okay. So whatever is in that ID column, then it'll update the title with the text input. Oops. Okay. It's text input 2. That's why you should name things a little better. So whatever text is in text input 2. the date. We need the date picker 1. No, we need to say the select date. The total text input 3 and type of is going to be drop down 1 selected, and close that, and it doesn't like something. Okay, so it's saying total's expecting a number, and instead it found a text, because in this column in SharePoint I have it set up to be currency value. So what you need to do here is say that we don't want the text that's in this text input box. We want the value. Then you close the parenthesis there. Okay. So now it works. So if we go ahead, come in here, say change that to 98 cents. Change this date to and we hit submit. Software's just half a second. It was working. Let's refresh this. Okay, so that's been changed and the date's been changed because it looked at this ID and then updated that row. All right. So now I'm just going to go ahead and copy this. We'll move to the create new screen. We're going to do basically the same thing. The only difference is instead of it checking here, we don't want it to update a pre-existing row. We want it to create a new record. So that is a function called defaults. Defaults to a new row in the expenses list. Okay, so now that'll create a new record. This needs to be to _1 and date picker 1 _1. So you want to come in here and just make a simple change, format from text to number. So now, if people try to, won't accept anything except numbers. And we want to have a reset button. So this will be reset, and you got to use instead of reset form, just regular reset. But then you have to come in here and go through every control. Okay, so now we can reset those. Okay, go back. We want every time the screen comes up, it resets its fields. So we can say it on visible, and then just like the reset button, reset, date picker, all of that. We could just copy and paste right here. We could just copy and paste. That would work. so just reset. Or the other thing you can do, a little cleaner, would just say select icon, let's see, icon 9. Okay, let's go ahead and put some data in here. Go to a different screen and back to this. Okay. Now we're going to do the same thing on this screen. Fill out the reset button and a back button. A detail screen. When they click on the edit, we want to navigate over to the edit screen. Go ahead and close that. Oh, well, need to say screen transition none. And when you want to delete a record, you use remove from expenses, whatever gallery 1 has selected. Close. Now to remove that, and then you can also take him back to, let's say, navigate to the browse screen. Okay, and we'll just have this be a back. Okay, that's pretty much finished. And okay, let's see, this will be a refresh control. This will create a variable here with the update context so we can sort. Call that sort descending 1. Sort descending 1, curly, close that. If we want to create a new record, we'll navigate to the create new screen, none, close that. And for the gallery, it's expenses, but we want to be able to search and sort this now. So we need to sort by columns. And we're also filtering the data. Let's see, expenses, comma, whatever starts with, this is going to be title, and that's in the text input box. Let's see, that's text input 1. Okay, the text that's in that text input box. Close that parenthesis and another parenthesis, comma. Now the ascending descending is going to be determined by the title. And if the sort descending So we're going to say if this variable, it's either going to be a descending or ascending, close that parenthesis. And one more. Okay. Give it a second. Okay, now it's displayed. Let's go ahead and try to search. Yep, a whole bunch of duplicate rental card records that I put in there by accident. And it goes up and down. Okay, so that works just like worked in the previous examples. Now, also, let's do a couple of little things here. So that we want this to look like currency. So to do that, we're going to say use the text function. You can either say this item total or just total. And so we want to display a text, and now we need to define what format is going to look like, which you find in the documentation, this little string. Okay, oh, and need to, okay, yep, so now it looks like currency. Okay, so that works. Now let's go to a couple of the other screens. Change some formatting there. Let me see, let me go ahead and copy this. We'll do that for this as well. Let's see, but this will be gallery 1 selected dot total. Okay, so now that's formatted. You could also change the formatting of the date if you wanted. Let's go ahead, so this will be text again. The date that's selected in gallery 1, and we want that in long date format, close parenthesis. Okay. Okay, now for this date, this is easier to do. Actually, just come over here to advanced and change the format right here from short date to long. Okay. And this is the same basically with text, comma, okay, now that's formatted, and okay, so now you got everything formatted. So that's, you're able to create new records, sort, filter, search. It has all the same functionality as using the form function. This uses patch instead.